Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you could join me today. Today I'm going to share the process of creating a layout for Scrapping Fun kits. This is my second project for their June kit. I'm going to create a layout. I hope you enjoy it. This large sheet of tissue paper came in the kit, and I thought that the best use I could make of it is to turn it into a pattern paper. So I've used some matte medium that I've watered down slightly, and I'm going to stick that tissue paper onto a sheet of white cardstock. I want to do it so that I don't get too many crinkles in it, so I'm doing a section at a time. I'm applying about 2 inches of matte medium, and then I'm putting the tissue paper on top of it, and then I'm going to use my brayer. After I've smoothed it down with my hand, I'm going to use my brayer to make sure that I get as few wrinkles as possible. I'm going to do that in stages down my page, so about 2 inches each at a time. I've left that to dry overnight, and now that it's dry I'm going to use my ruler and my craft knife to cut off the excess paper around the edge of the sheet. I'm going to use 4 small photos of my daughter when she was a baby. I'm going to use a grid style for this layout, so I am matting the photos, leaving a small border around each photo. Before I attach the photos, I'm going to ink around the edges of the photo mat. I trimmed this sheet of tissue paper cardstock that I made down to 11 inches by 11 inches, and I'm going to sit that on top of a sheet of pink cardstock. I ink around the edges of both pieces of cardstock with Versacolour Orchid ink pad, and then use double-sided tape to attach the pattern paper on top of the pink cardstock. I go ahead and cut 5 more pieces of pink cardstock to the same size as the photo mats so that I can complete my grid. I ink around the edges of these 5 pieces with the same Versacolour Orchid ink pad so that they all blend together. Using my T-ruler as a guide, I attach the photo sections of the grid using foam tape or foam squares. I'm going to start work on embellishing my vacant squares at the next, so I'm using this stitched heart die that I bought on the internet, and I have cut 4 hearts from the pattern paper that came with the kit, the 4 smallest ones, and I'm going to ink around the edges of those and then attach one on top of the other to make a layered heart. I'm going to fold the layers of the heart up so that it has a little bit of dimension, and then I'm going to attach it using double-sided tape to the top middle square. This square is then attached to the background. For the next section, I used the fine jute that came with the kit. There was a pink and a yellow, so I combined those two together, wrapped them around the square of cardstock, tied a knot in the front and secured them at the back with a piece of normal sticky tape. Also in the kit was a cute little pair of baby feet that were, well, they're not really puffy, they're more of a gem type foot. So I attached them to the bottom right hand corner of the cardstock and then attached the cardstock to the layout. Decoration for the next square also came in the kit. It is some Jazz Art handmade stickers. I have removed the foam tape from the back of the top sticker that says cute and mounted that to the square just using double-sided tape so that it's fairly flat, and I have put some thick foam tape on the back of the pram after I've inked around the edges of both pieces and attached that to the piece as well. I had a look through my cottons and found a bright pink and a bright yellow, and I'm going to add this to the layout. I've rolled some off the reel and scrunched it all up, and I'm thinking that I'm going to put it behind these two squares, but I don't end up doing that. I change my mind. I found a piece of pink lace in my stash that I thought would go well with this layout, so I've used some liquid glue to attach that down the side of this panel. Then I used double-sided tape to attach the panel to the layout. I go back to the bundle of thread that I've got, and I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do with it. I still haven't made up my mind where it's going to go. I think I cut it in half because I think now it's too much, and I decide to tuck it under that photo. I use some glue and a pokey tool and poke it in under that photo. The other half of the threads, I used the same procedure and I tucked them in behind the top left-hand photo. I used some double-sided tape to secure the final two pieces of pink cardstock into position. I'm going to use this really cute giraffe, it's made of felt, that came with the kit, to go across these two panels on the side. I also fussy cut a monkey from the sheet of cut aparts that came in the kit, and I will attach that in the top section of these two panels. I add a bit of bling to the heart using the Portercraft self-adhesive pearls that came out of my stash. A little bit more bling using this Kaisercraft rhinestones flower shape that I cut to fit this panel. I wanted to add a bit of darkness to the layout because it was looking very light, so I took my Uniball eye micro pen and with my ruler I drew a couple of lines around the border, I suppose, of the pattern paper. I drew 2 lines and then I put a few squiggly marks on it. Once I'd done that, I thought I needed some black lines out on the pink as well, so I went ahead and did that. I used Kaisercraft Alphabet Uppercase and Dynamics Little Numbers dies to cut my title. I cut them in pink and black, and then I inked around the pink and then mounted them onto the black to give it a sort of a shadow to make it stand out from the background a bit better. Once I'd got all my letters and numbers assembled, I attached them to my layout using glue. I attached the date down onto one of the little panels that I'd created, and I put the title in the centre above the middle panel. That completes my layout for today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified each time I upload a new video. I would really like it if you would share my video with your friends. Thank you.